You might have noticed that MAGA Republicans like to censor minority communities in America. They say they don't want woke ideology shoved down their throats. So they do things like cancel Bud Light for sending a can of beer to a transgender influencer, which led to Kid Rock shooting a case of the beer, even though he was still selling it in his bar. They canceled Target because it dared to sell Pride Month merchandise. And they outlawed drag queens because they don't like something that people have been doing for centuries. Now they're going after the new Barbie film, which folks over on Fox claim pushes, quote, toxic femininity and China. I kid you not. According to Senator Ted Cruz, Barbie is pro-China propaganda because of a crayon map depicted in the film.
I have not seen the movie. I've just seen the stupid map. This is really designed for the eyes of the Chinese censors, and they're trying to kiss up to the Chinese Communist Party because they want to make money selling the movie in China.
Canceling has become their thing, but don't dare say a peep about the new music video from country singer Jason Aldean, which says this: cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that stuff might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. Music video shows Aldean interspiced with news clips of protests out of context. It promotes vigilantism and was filmed in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, the site of the 1946 Columbia Race Massacre and the 1927 mob lynching of an 18-year-old black teenager. I guess he doesn't know that because many conservatives are canceling Black History too. Joining me now to discuss is Kurt Bardella, Democratic strategist and contributor to the Los Angeles Times, and Juanita Tolliver, MSNBC political analyst and co-host of Cricket Media's What a Day podcast. Kurt, I'm gonna start with you. You are my country music Sherpa. We went to the Academy of Country Music Awards earlier this year. This is your area. I think I was wearing the same blazer. Just put this in context here. Like, what is Jason Aldean talking about? I understand a sort of hokey, hey, small town life is different than the big city. I get that. That's a common thing in country music. But why are people so angry about it? And why is he getting so defensive, since it seemed like a pretty obvious dog whistle about what he wanted to talk about?
Well, Jason, I think, number one, what he's talking about is this kind of conservative right-wing fantasy that everybody else is after them to take things from them, that you have to protect your quote-unquote small-town values because those big city coastal elites are going to try to take things from you. And the things that you see in big cities, whatever those are, they apparently don't happen in small towns. Now, let me just point out, just for the record, that I think Uvalde, Texas is a small town where a gun massacre happened. But be that as it may, that's the terminology, the vocabulary, and that culture war riff that we're seeing turned into melody and music. And it's designed to ultimately provoke a conversation, sell records, sell streams. And that's exactly what's going to happen, by the way. It's not an accident that within 24 hours of this controversy erupting, that this song and this music video were both #1 on iTunes.
And Juanita, here's the thing. I actually don't have a problem with music being controversial. I mean, that's what music is. That's what art is. It's not supposed to always be something that we like. But I think the concern that people who are criticizing the song are having is, look, we're now in a society where people take this kind of music and they act upon it. They feel galvanized by it. They feel that this is a rationale for vigilante violence. Is that something that we need to take into consideration, that maybe some of the people who are vigorously defending country music don't recognize it's not an attack on the genre? It's questions about the impact of this kind of music.
Not even questions. You've already drawn the through line, Jason. There's evidence that demonstrates that that's what happens. And so to reject that is to gaslight the rest of us, to pretend as though, oh, we're just making this up, we're imagining it. No, like you said, the history of the courthouse that he chose to film in front of, to play dumb about that in retrospect, is ridiculous. And all the Republicans backing him up are buying into that same reality of, okay, we're going to do racist things, we're going to do harmful things that target violence towards Black and brown people or anyone who's different from us, and then tell them that it's their fault. right? That's the energy that comes through in this video, in this song. And let's be real, I knew something was up based on the title, Jason. Like, I know what a sundown town is. And so I was like, yeah, this ain't for me at all.
Now, Juanita, I'm going to stay with you for a second. I'm pointing this out. Full disclosure. I have a Barbie doll. I have a 1983 black Barbie doll who was an astronaut before Mae Jemison. The doll was made before Mae Jemison was the first black woman in space. I've got to ask you, when you hear this controversy, Republicans saying, oh my gosh, we hate the Barbie movie, you know, Juanita, like, what does that say? Are they so bankrupt for ideas that they want to run after this doll? I mean, if you want to make the argument that maybe Barbie dolls are made in another country and they're not American enough, that's one thing. But the idea that Barbie is Chinese propaganda seems like a bankrupt party looking for a way to stay in the news.
Exactly right. This is a fight for relevance. And so what Ted Cruz is doing here is trying to latch on to the latest big cultural phenomenon moment to try to be relevant. But the reality is nobody likes Ted Cruz. And people definitely aren't going to like him for attacking Barbie. So he can move from Barbie to Big Bird to Bud Light. And Ted Cruz, we still don't like you.
Kurt, and this is the other part of this that sort of shocks me. I on my podcast, A Word, I'm going to talk about at the end of the show, I did this whole breakdown with talking about like the history of Black Barbie, the importance of these kinds of images to young people. When you see Republicans attacking, as Wendy mentioned, attacking Big Bird, attacking toys, attacking beloved cultural characters, doesn't it just make them seem out of touch? Doesn't it just make them seem like a bunch of stick in the muds when everybody else is trying to find something to do in the middle of the summer to brighten their days in the middle of 95-degree heat?
Yeah, because I also think that when you make these kind of attacks against toys and puppets, I think it leaves a lot of parents wondering, why are you spending so much time, energy, oxygen talking about these really superfluous things when at the same time we're worried to death that our kids aren't going to come home from school alive because they're going to get shot at today. And you have nothing to say about anything like that. You have nothing to do about making sure that we actually have a safe environment for our kids. It's so hilarious to watch these Republicans talk about being pro-life, talk about children and making sure that they have the right books and toys and cultural items, yet they don't want to lift a damn finger to do anything to keep them alive.
Kurt Bardella and Juanita Tolliver, thank you so much for joining us tonight on The ReidOut. If you'd like to learn more about Barbie, or you're just going to go see the movie this weekend, definitely check out my podcast, A Word with Jason Johnson on Slate, for more on the history of Barbie. I'm joined by Lajeria Davis, writer, producer, and creator of the new film, Black Barbie, a documentary. It's really fun. I learned a lot. You'll definitely enjoy it.